morning and welcome back to the morning commute with Hopi living in the city. It is 77 degrees outside and we are headed into central Phoenix. I hope everybody slept well. I ordered some nozzles for this because the passenger side is missing. So hopefully those will be in, I think, this weekend. And then I think this weekend I may head to central Phoenix to my favorite car wash on 43rd and Indian School, I believe. It's on the northwest corner. They are quick, pretty thorough. Just, every now and then you'll have to ask them to touch something up. But for the most part, they do a great job. The prices are fabulous. And you can't, get that good of a car wash anywhere around. Usually you're having to wait and wait and wait. But with these guys, they have plenty of people on staff and they get you in and out. So I wanted to do that because this weekend I tried to clean, well, I did clean the inside of my windshield, but it does not look good. So then I also wanted to get it vacuumed out and wiped down. And it's usually, I think, like $35 for the truck. So that's what I have planned. And we have trick-or-treaters on Friday. So I gotta get ready. Put in the comments what you're going to dress up as this year. If you're expecting trick-or-treaters or goblins or ghouls at your place. Looks like someone did their own headlight install in the truck behind us, huh? It's one side's all lopsided and super bright. But hey, maybe they saved a lot of money. So today we are going to continue working on our satellite clinic. I got to work on a chem metabolic panel and a CBC panel. Just making sure those are correct in critical values, units of measure, and reference ranges. And then we have the person doing the validation studies on the new CBC analyzer in town. Well, I'm not sure if she's in town, lives here, but she's on site this week. And she is more than willing to test the connection. We thought we might get to it yesterday, but we didn't. I don't know, that tire on that boat on the passenger side looks like it's about to fall off. So that's what hopefully we can get to this week or today. And then on the UA analyzer, I am going to get in there and update the instrument report ranges to match what we have in our LIS. I'm trying to figure out what kind of car that is behind us. It kind of looks like a 300ZX. You can tell it's probably like in 90s just by the headlights. And it's sitting pretty low. So I had my probiotic drink this morning along with the vitamins, and then I have a cup of the holiday blend coffee. So I'm doing good. I almost got up and made some eggs and did up some toast because Safeway was having a sale on their spam, so I picked up a can and also a bag of the Super Dave's or something, that bread, and I was gonna make a spam, egg, and cheese sandwich for the missus and I. But I figure she likes to get her breakfast on the road, so I didn't want to mess that up. Uh-oh. Wonder what that said, huh? Wonder if it's even recording. Oh well, let's see what's on the radio.
Cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out any time.
That was paid out to SNAP recipients in Arizona in September. We can't make up that number. That's not a number we can shoulder.
We'll have a visit to a Phoenix food bank where lines are now stretching down the block. That's ahead at 5:44 here on KJZZ's Morning Edition.
KJZZ is supported by Albertsons and Safeway pharmacies with over 15 vaccines available like flu, COVID-19, shingles, pneumonia, hepatitis B, and travel vaccines. Appointments on the grocery app or visit albertsons-or-safeway.com/vaccinations.
We're staying in the 90s, 91 today in Phoenix after reaching 92 yesterday. Average is now 84. Right now in Phoenix, 66 degrees at 5:30. Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Dave Mattingly. South Korea says it's agreed to a trade deal with the U.S. Seoul says it will invest $350 billion in the U.S. in exchange for lower tariffs on its auto exports. The White House hasn't confirmed it. President Trump is in South Korea. On his flight from Japan, Trump said his expected trade talks with China's president in South Korea tomorrow will include Beijing stopping the flow of fentanyl.
We'll be discussing the boundaries. We'll be discussing a lot of things, but fentanyl will be one of the things we're discussing.
The Federal Reserve is expected to announce another quarter-point cut in U.S. interest rates today, the second such cut in 6 weeks. Here's NPR's Scott Horsley.
For most of this year, the Federal Reserve kept interest rates relatively high in an effort to curb stubborn inflation. Those inflation worries haven't disappeared, but they are taking a back seat for now to rising concerns about the job market. Hiring slowed over the summer, and in recent days, some high-profile corporations have announced large-scale layoffs. Assessing the strength or weakness of the job market is especially tricky these days because the government workers who ordinarily keep tabs on employment have been temporarily sidelined by the federal shutdown. Fed policymakers did get a readout on inflation for last month. It showed prices in September were up 3% from a year ago, a slightly smaller increase than forecasters expected. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
This is NPR News.
It's 5:32 here on KJZZ. A brewery in Tempe has been serving up scares past 5
Island. The Salvation Army is actively coordinating relief efforts across the Caribbean in response to support those affected. You can make donations by visiting salvationarmyusa.org, and we also have the Salvation Army for the Caribbean joining us at 6:44 this morning to let us know exactly what it is they're looking at on the ground as we speak.
Yeah, it cannot be pleasant what they are seeing right now. Coming up on Arizona's Morning News.
Arizona's AG sues the Trump administration again as federal food assistance funds are held up. I'm Ballin Overstoles.
Arizona State University says no one asked us to sign. I'm Bill O'Neill.
Right now, let's check in with John Roller. He's live at the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, just past the 5:30 mark, and that means we are seeing some slowing on the southbound 101 transition ramp to the eastbound I-10. Looks like we have a minor crash right at the end of the ramp. Starting to see that backed up grow a little bit. We'll take a closer look at that. If you are coming in on the eastbound I-10, Bullard Avenue, that's your point A for a tap of the brakes. And once you're past about 8th and 3rd Avenue, you're good to go into downtown Phoenix. Southbound I-17 looking good. A little bit of slowing right at Dunlap by the old Metro Center, and that'll stay with you down to about Bethany Home Road. Then you are good to go. We do have a crash northbound I-17 right at the Buckeye off-ramp. That is hampering that intersection. And again, we do have that law enforcement situation in the North Valley. The off-ramp to Dove Valley Road, northbound I-17, completely shut down due to a law enforcement situation. John Roller, KTAR News.
Expect a breezy start to your Wednesday with gusts around 20 to 30 miles per hour across the Phoenix Metro. It'll still be warm though, with highs in the low 90s and lows in the mid-60s. I'm ABC 15 meteorologist Jorge Torres.
Right now it's clear at the airport, 66 degrees at 5:33.
The Arizona Department of Public Safety has issued a safe alert for Robert Jones. left his residence near the area of Buckeye Road and Avondale Boulevard in a 2015 silver Lexus. He has conditions that may make him prone to memory loss and may be in danger due to a disability. If you have any information, you're asked to please call 911 or contact Avondale Police.
Congressional District 7's Adelita Grijalva has yet to be sworn into Congress. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson has not initiated the process, which Grijalva has criticized earlier this month, the day after her election was certified.
Swore in 2 Republicans from Florida with less than 24 hours after their elections during a pro forma session. There is no reason other than politics that Arizona should be treated differently.
Grijalva now becomes the member of Congress with the longest delay between election and swearing in at 36 days, beating out California's Jimmy Gomez.
Ripping away access to food and health care for millions of Americans.
Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays is suing the Trump administration to get federal food assistance dollars released to the states.
The United States Department of Agriculture has said states will not get November SNAP funding, so families who use the benefit will not have that money to pay for food next month. AG Chris Mays says the USDA has emergency funding that can and legally should be used to keep the SNAP program going, which is paused due to the government shutdown.
In Arizona, 12% of the state's population receives SNAP benefits, including 30,000 Arizona veterans.
And Mays also believes Arizona lawmakers should use state dollars for SNAP funding. The governor's office says Arizona does not have the money to do that and calls on the Trump administration to release those dollars. Ballin over Stoles, KTAR News.
Meanwhile, the back and forth continues between Democrats and Republicans amid this shutdown. The SNAP program, of course, just the latest battle. Arizona's U.S. Senator Mark Kelly accusing the president of using working Americans as political leverage, saying their situations will only grow more difficult if the SNAP program is interrupted. As for Republicans, U.S. Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins, in a Newsweek op-ed, is accusing Democrats of trying to prop up failed programs and advance a left-wing agenda.
Arizona State University says it was never asked to sign on to a controversial education compact by the Trump administration.
That word from the university about a week after reports surfaced it was asked to take a meeting with White House officials on the plan. In a statement, ASU says it has long been a voice for change in higher education, with President Michael Crow happy to share his vision for the future with anyone, including the Trump administration. This comes a week after the University of Arizona did not agree to the terms of the proposal it was presented with, instead submitting its own statement of principles to the Department of Education. Bill O'Neill, KTAR News.
A 44-year-old Mesa teacher was recently sentenced to 187 years in prison for sexually abusing 2 students in 2021.
His name, Corey Kapahulehua. He was a teacher at the Arizona Agribusiness and Equine Center's Mesa campus. Prosecutors say he started sexual relationships with 2 female students in August 2021. The younger of the 2 was 14. She said she and Kapahulehua had sex on school grounds until he was fired in 2022. His other victim was 17. Kapahulehua sexually exploited her at his apartment multiple times. While she was 17, he started an online fundraiser to help her move out of her parent twice.
It could. Israel has been considering limiting humanitarian aid to Gaza or even taking over more territory in Gaza to pressure Hamas to hand over hostage bodies more quickly. Israel is accusing Hamas of purposefully dragging its feet on returning 13 more hostage bodies. Hamas denies that. And yesterday, Israel said Hamas faked the discovery of a hostage body in the ground, and Israel released footage of this. You see a body being buried and then unearthed. And the Red Cross, in a statement, said it was unacceptable that a recovery was staged. Now Hamas is saying it found 2 more hostage bodies.
Okay, folks, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to check on your loved ones. And be safe. Boston one.